everyone, this is Anne-Marie Olson with the Bulldog team at Keller Williams, and today is a great day. I am with one of my favorite people on my team who make me look good when I'm helping my clients. This is Brandy Paucek from Caliber Loans, and she is I wanted to come here and get to know her better because she is also one of our sponsors for Moon Valley Food Truck Tuesday that we do every month. So she is helping me provide tables and chairs for everybody to sit at, and I so greatly appreciate that. But more than that, you've helped a few of my clients and have really made a big difference. So thank you for meeting with me today.
Of course.
Can you just tell me a little bit about who you are?
Yes, so I am a loan consultant for residential home loans, and I help buyers get into their either next home or their first home, and I walk them through each step of the process and also make sure that we are getting them into the right financing for their time now and talking with them about what that means in the future as well.
Okay. Now, how long have you been at Caliber?
I've been at Caliber now going on 7.5 years.
But you were in lending before that, right?
I've been in lending for a total of 18 years.
A little while.
Yeah.
So you've seen the rates go up and down.
Oh, yes.
You've seen the different programs that are available. And you know what? That's so important because in my time as a realtor, I encourage my buyers to go to several different realtors because several lenders because not all are created equal. I always call it, it's all about the person in the chair, the butt in the chair, and how the knowledge that they have, the experience they have, and really just their commitment to finding you the best program, the best rate, and the best options for you. So one of the things that I have a hard time convincing my buyers about is to go see you sooner than later. And you know, I can't express that enough to them, but they still say, oh, Anne-Marie, we're not ready yet. We have to pay this off, or you know, whatever it is. Can you help explain to my clients why it's so important to see you sooner than later?
Yeah, so it really is a good idea to see us either immediately after they have chosen to work with you or even before you choose a realtor, because we want to make sure that your financing that you're looking for is in place, and then make sure it fits your budget, and then they can find you a home. So a lot of people, they think that they can pay things off and get that all done by themselves or repair their credit by themselves, just from what things they've heard or seen maybe on the internet, but it doesn't always work that way. Credit scores in mortgage are different than your credit score that you see like with Credit Karma or on your Bank of America statement or your Credit Discover card statement. So we weigh accounts differently, and someone may give you the advice to do a certain thing when really for mortgage it may be another thing that we need to work on. So my goal is always to make sure that if you are working on your credit, that we do it together. People, a frequently asked question or concern that I hear is about credit inquiries. So if you have your credit pulled too many times, can it hurt you? It can if you have your credit pulled too many times in a window of time. But what we really need to focus on is getting your credit score as optimal as possible. And inquiries really don't factor into that when we're trying to work to improve your credit score.
Okay.
And credit score is important because number one, it qualifies you for a different type of loan possibly. It also is important because it can price you into a different tier for interest rate and for mortgage insurance. So those are things that we look at. But the big thing too is I don't like to necessarily focus everything on credit score and interest rate because there are so many other factors that come into play. We want to make sure you're getting the right payment, that you're coming in with the right down payment, and that we're putting you into a loan that is affordable all around for you, so that when you find that property that if you need some flexibility, we can make sure we go over those kinds of options. So it's an all-around analysis of your situation, and while credit is important, it's not always the paramount part of it that we need to look at for you.
Interesting. Yeah, I know a lot goes into it, and I rely heavily on you for that in my transactions. And I've had several clients who said, "Oh, Anne-Marie, we can't afford to buy yet." And lo and behold, they went and talked to the lender, and guess what? They can. And so, you know, I have a client that bought a year ago. That's a year's worth of rent that they would have lost, and they knew for sure that they needed a year to get everything straightened out. They went and talked to the lender, and the lender said, "No, you can buy now." And, you know, so that could also be an outcome. The other outcome could be, yeah, it's going to take a few years. And we still encourage that, right?
Yes.
Because what we can help with, even as a team, we can follow up with you and make sure that you're staying on track with your goals to get to that home ownership. So that's another way that you're partnering with professionals here that are helping you get to your goal. So thanks for that information, especially about the credit inquiry. I get that a lot too. Oh my gosh.
Excuse me, with that said, we have a client right now. She's not going to be ready until July of 2022, but we put a game plan together for her so she knows how much she needs to save. She knows what her payment about will be in her price range, and she knows what we need to see for her income and her credit and all of those things right now, so that she can just focus on working on those things. We have a game plan, and we're not going to be working together for, you know, over a year, and that's totally fine. So there is no time limit on when you should start the process. If you know in the future, whether that be right away or down the road that you want to purchase, we want to make sure that we're getting you set up so that you know exactly what you need to do in order to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but this is the same way in everything in life, right? If I have the plan, if I know what I need to do, it is so much easier because it's like, okay, I know what the path is to get there, and that's what you can provide. And me too, I can help you provide, you know, in terms of your house, because look, you may not be buying your dream home as the first one, right? So these are, I mean, Brandy's not going anywhere, I'm not going anywhere. We're going to help you through this journey to your dream home. So that's great information. I appreciate that. So tell me then, if one of our listeners here says, "Okay, I'll do it. What's the number?" Which I'm going to put on the screen, hopefully, if I can figure it out. But what does that look like? I assume that there's a link and they apply online on your website, right? And then what? What happens?
So if you have questions up front and you're not sure that you really do want to move forward, I want to make sure that I answer those up front. There is a lot of information out there, and as we know, the internet can give misinformation, so I want to make sure that I provide the best information and answer all questions. This is a huge purchase, right? But then as far as applying, yes, you can apply online. We can also do it over the phone, or we can meet in person too. So the next step then, when getting your application together, is I will get some documentation from you to support that application. And if you're ready to go right away, we can get you pre-qualified with a pre-approval letter, and I can give that to you so that you have parameters for them to start shopping. If we need to wait a little bit, then we put that game plan like I was talking about together, and then we will talk again down the road and get some more updates. So really it's talking through and giving you all of the options that fit your situation, and that doesn't always mean that the box that you think that you fit in is going to be the box you end up in, and I like to make sure that I explain what all those options are for you.
That's some of the feedback that I've heard from my clients, is that, yeah, Brandy was so good at explaining things so I could understand, and I didn't feel stupid about things. You know, I know sometimes when we're going to, especially first timers, you know, we're going to make these purchases, it's overwhelming, right? And you feel like, gosh, I should know this, I'm an adult, right? But, you know, the bottom line is, it's your specialty, not mine. So, you know, I would go to you, and I'm in the business, but I would go to you and say, can you just explain how down payment assistance work?
Right.
All of those things, you know, and just be, you know, the important thing is starting the relationship with your trusted professional, like Brandy, because just like your doctor, your dentist, your kid's school teacher, that open line of communication and trust so that you feel that you can ask them anything is so important. So I encourage you to establish that now with whomever it is, right? I think that's the best advice I give my client is establish that, whether it's me, you, someone else, the sooner the later.
Yeah, and never be afraid to interview lenders. You know, you got to click. It's like I said, it's one of the biggest purchases of most people's lives, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have to make sure that you trust somebody with that. You are giving them a lot of personal information, and you have to be able to trust that they're going to take that information and give you the best options available. So I encourage people to interview lenders as well, especially if you're going to be buying down the road, that you find the best one.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because again, it comes down to the butt in the chair, right? And you know what? You may be amazing, the best lender in Arizona. However, you may not click with Brandy, right? I mean, maybe Brandy talks too fast, or you know, whatever, she doesn't, but you know, you just never know. But you've got to click. And one thing, you know, of course, my buyers, they may have already gone to a lender, right? They may come to me and they're already pre-qualified. And I hear horror stories about how lenders don't call them back, or about how, you know, they felt like they were just one of, like the lender just didn't have time for them. And especially for first-time home buyers, or buyers that haven't done it in a long time, because lending is different. If you bought 10 years ago, lending is different, right? Mortgage loans are different now. So I encourage you, again, talk to several, even if just over the phone, to make that call on who you want to use. So Brandy, where should we start? What's the best thing we should do to start this process?
So you're free to give me a call anytime, or you can start by applying right online. Make sure that you put in the referral that you learned of me through Anne Marie and or this interview. And as soon as I see that your loan application has come through, I'll get a notification and we will chat about it right away.
Great. Brandy, thanks for this information today. I think this is going to be very helpful. I also want to thank you very much for being a sponsor for Food Truck Tuesday. And I'm also going to put that information, that's a monthly event that's held at Moon Valley Park at 502 West Coral Gables Drive, where I have a few food trucks come out, and you get a kitchen pass. You don't have to cook that night, and have dinner in the park, or just come and take it home to go. So I encourage you to take part in that. Brandy is often there, so you can talk to her over dinner even. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, reach out to either Brandy or I. We'd be glad to help you. Thanks, have a great day.
Thank you.